I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA. The honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth and sincerity. Salutation to the hopeful elect that spirit throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, so we're going to get into it. The title of this lesson will be You Can't Suck It Up and Make It. You can't suck it up and make it in this truth. And this title, and I got this title from watching Elder Apostle Tahar video, and the title of his video is "Who Knows the Spirit of Man That Goes Upward?" Revelation chapter 9, verse 15 are the missiles, and basically he went over, the hell doctrine and Israel coming back, in the kingdom. So basically, there's a little portion of the video at 9:20, I believe around 9:20 or 9:28. Actually, from the video is from IUIC, and it's titled "Hell and the Lake of Fire Explained." And I remember IUIC was speaking to Jake about the missiles and the hell, and all that, for that false doctrine that they talk about the hell and how is eternity, but so I'm not. We won't get in. I'm gonna get into the point of this lesson. So basically, the teacher, he was ministering to the Jake, and he said that you have to suck it up. You have to suck it up in order to make it. Somewhere along those lines, he said you have to suck it up, and it's truth. And that's you don't want to give that. You don't want to give that. You don't want to plant that seed, especially to someone like a Jake who is learning. And he gonna have that mindset that you have to suck it up and make it, but that's not mindset the hopeful elect supposed to be in. Um, so Apostle Tahar, um, Apostle Tahar, had repeated what the teacher said, and he gave an inspiration to do a lesson on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this lesson. The title of this lesson, which is you can't suck it up and make it. And I'm going to bring out a few scriptures. Matthew chapter 22, verse 14. I'm going to start off with that one. For many are called, but few are chosen. So, for many are called, but few are chosen, right? So, there's a lot of people who wake up to being an Israelite because they were calling to, get this truth and to know the true name of YAHAWASHI. But, there are going to be only a few chosen of the elect, right, that actually make it. So, those that have the mindset of, to, suck it up and, to try to be the hopeful elect, it won't work like that, because you were calling to know that you were calling to know the truth, but you wasn't actually chosen to be heirs of the kingdom. You weren't chosen to be governing bodies of the kingdom, right? And receive salvations, but you were calling to know who your nationality, your real nationality, and who your forefathers are. So this is Mark chapter 4, verse 14. The sword sows the word, which is going back to the teacher, the prophets who preach the word and teach the word. 15 verse, and these are they by the wayside where the word is sown, right? But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. So right, so when you're when you're being teach this word, and that when Satan come along and try to disturb you from hearing the word, and 16th verse, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness. So those who hear hear the truth, hear that with their nationality, the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son, their enemies, when they hear this word, they receive it and they, do something with it, right? They go out and teach others, or they do something with the word, right? And they receive it with gladness, right? So they don't mock or scoff, right? They're fully persuaded in their minds, right? When they receive this word. 17 verse, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. So they have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterwards, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. Right. So um, you know, when there's things that going against the word, or when you face some persecution or affliction because of this word, when Yahweh start heavily, or putting heavily hinder you with a wind, or start rocking your boat a little bit, and you know that what to do, you need to pray, you need to do whatever to try not have not to fight, to fight, you know what you need to do to fight, but when your ship start rocky, and affliction and persecution arises, um you are offended at the word, so you try to and they go for people who they go for you, because there's so I can, I'm all over the place. So I can't try to get my words straight. So this go for when, um, for example, say if because there's a lot of prophecies happening, and we gonna have to make that choice between taking that micro C help or not taking that micro C help, and they can prove that point as well, that when we get in the time of testing, and when the devil come down, have great wrath, they're gonna be a test, if you're gonna opt out of this truth, or you're gonna stay in and you're gonna endure to the end. um and I can read down to 18 verse as well. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word. So they hear the word, but they don't have a foundation, right? They don't have a foundation. Going back to that those who built the truth, or built their house on sand rather than on a rock, right? Which is the rock is Yahawashi, you know. And when that wave come and that wind come, it blow that sand away, because they wasn't grounded in this truth. Which, going back to you can't suck it up and make it, right? Because you have to be grounded, right? You have to have your house built on a rock, which is Yahweh Shah. You have to have faith alone with that, right? 19 verse. And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, and choke the word, and it becomes a fruitful, right? So there's a lot of things that will make a person just want to suck it up and make it and try to make it in the truth, but you cannot. You have to be fully involved in this truth, right? You have to be fully involved in this truth. You can't suck it up and make it. When persecution or affliction come, you have to pray, or fast, pray and fast. The two important things you have. Um, there's a lot of count, and in the Bible, where a lot of the prophets, the teachers, pray and fast, when they were going through heavy temptations, right? So you're not different. You're not different than the prophets of old, right? All right, I'm gonna move on to another precept, Romans 14. 5. Romans 14, chapter verse 5. One man esteemeth it one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Let every man be fully persuaded. Let every man be like it. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So that's 100%. You have to be 100% persuaded in your own mind that you know what I'm gonna do. What I need to do to get my mind right with YAHAWASHI. To get salvation. Whatever I need to do that will you know help the minister prosper. Whatever I need to do. To you know make it out of this wicked kingdom, right, and to be part of the elect. But you know you cannot be mingling back and forth. You cannot have one foot in the truth and one foot in the world, right? You can't do that, right? And you can't try to think that you're gonna suck it up and make it as well. You can't think that because because you're going to the heavenly affliction, but you're gonna be in this truth, just to make it, which I which what I mean by that is you're going to be an Israelite in times you get weak and you want to leave, but you suck it up, right? So the only true man and women of the Yahweh Shah who are gonna be saved is the elect, right? So you can't be going through those trip. You have to pray, right? You can't be going through those trials and tribulations, right? And think it and just suck it up, right? And think you're gonna make it, right? Or you can't you know following those temptations, right? And then suck it up and make it as well. You can't do that, right? Because if you're in that type of spirit, that type of mindset, you are not part of the elect, and Yahweh is not dealing with you. James 1 and 8, James chapter 1 verse 8, which the title of this is Testing Your Faith, and it reads, "A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways." Right, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So it's easy. That's plain, right? That's a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You're either gonna be hot or you're gonna be cold. You're either gonna be in the truth or you're gonna be out of this truth. You can't have um, you can't be both, right? Um, so you can't, going back to the title, you can't suck it up and make it, right. You can't say that, even though you're an Israelite, right, but when they get weak, you just and you want to leave, but you just suck it up, right. So you just, but that's going back to, that you had to go through this, right. While in the truth, you will have to go through trials and tribulations, right. But you're not praying, you're not fasting, or you're not trying to do anything to to you're not trying to it's like you're not fully persuading your own mind. You're not doing this because you truly want to be saved. You're doing it because you that you're Israelite, right, and you think you're gonna but you think you're gonna be saved, right, but that's not the case, right. um so you can't be a double-minded man, right. You have to be fully persuaded in your own mind that you're gonna be with this truth, for this truth, right. And when persecution does arise, that um you're gonna stand grounded in this truth, right. This is like Book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, Book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 21, and it reads, "Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel." Right. So you can't give your mind to heaviness, right. So you can't be burdened with grievingness, right? And you can't have that. You can't have those. You can't have those thoughts overcome you, right? So when your mind, when your mind start condemning you, and you start having doubt, that you are either the chosen, that because ultimately that's Satan and demons messing with you, right? When you are going through those, when you're dealing with those types of thoughts, but you have that going back to, you have to pray and you have to fast. This is why we're not to give our mind to heaviness, and inflict not thyself in thy own counsel, right? So when you're going through things, and you're going through those heavy trials and tribulations, you have to talk to someone. You have to talk to a brother. You have to either watch a video or other brothers going through the same thing as you. So there's Yahweh give us, give us guidance and counselors in this truth, right? We're just not here, going through this, and no one else going through this with us. There's other brothers and sisters, brothers going through the same thing we're going through. So you know, don't think you can, just don't think that you're by yourself, right? And you're going through this alone. We're all one body, right? We're all one body. So wherever a wherever what another brother is feeling, that how the other brother is feeling as well. So you're not in this thing alone. Job chapter 13, verse 5. 15 verse. So the title of this is, Job is sure he will be vindicated. So vindicated means clear someone of blame or suspicion, or to acquit and justify. So the book of Job 13. So this is a true testimony, because Job, he was going through heavy trials and heavy tribulation. Did Job, said he gonna suck it up and make it right? Did Job say that, even though he's going through this tribulation and the trials, and he lost all his stuff. He said that he was just gonna not pray and not fast. He's just gonna deal with it, right, and not ask for mercy, or not ask for help. You know, did Job say he gonna do that? No, because as it reads, Job chapter 13 verse 15, though he slay me, yet would I trust. Right. So though Yahweh Shah put Job through heavy temptation, through heavy tribulation, through heavy trial, he will still trust in Yahweh Shah. So though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain my own ways before him. Right. So Job would still have an upright spirit. He would still be in the spirit of meekness, right? So um so he would make so Job would still be in the spirit of, praying and doing whatever he needs to do to, make sure that he have that Yahweh Shah have mercy on him, right? So that what spirit we have to be in. Even though we're going through heavy trials, we're going through heavy tribulation, we might lose something. It might get hard while we're in this church. Um, we still have to maintain our own ways, right? And we still have to trust in Yahweh Shah and our and 100%. We have to be, we have to trust in Yahweh Shah 100%, right? 1 Job chapter 3, verse 19, it reads, and hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him. For if our heart condemn us, the Most High is greater than our heart and knows all things. So the Most High, Yahweh Shah, knows, how we're feeling, how we're feeling about him, how we're feeling about the truth, how we are feeling about he knows everything in our hearts, right? So like 21 verse, beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then have we confidence toward the Most High. So our heart condemn us, then going back to actually let me get in NLT. Dear friends, if we don't feel guilty, we can come to the Most High with bold confidence. Right. So going back to praying and asking for mercy. 22 verse, and whatsoever we ask we receive of him because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing to in his sight. So that's going back to if you have that spirit of to suck it up and make it in the church, you have to go, you have to pray, right? You have to pray, um you have to pray and and ask for give you the spirit of of give you the spirit of faith, or the spirit of um to be on fire for this church, right? To be to have the Holy Spirit working with you, right? Because you can't, if you're waxing cold, then that means the Holy Spirit is not dealing with you, right? So you have to pray for that, and we all go through that at some point in the scripture. We'll all go through that hot and cold moments, but that's just something that's a test of your faith, right? If you're gonna give in, or either gonna wax cold, or you gonna wax, you gonna get you're gonna be on fire for this church. Because when we all came to in the church, we was on fire. We knew that we was Israelite. We knew our nationality. We knew who the enemy were. We knew everything that we need to know to get us started into the church. But now, since we're the more the more knowledge we get, it becomes bitter. And when that bitter we that bitter comes, that comes your testing, right? If you're gonna be in this church or you're gonna be out of this church, And that ultimate test is gonna come when the crowd might get pushed, where three comes, family the word, family the food, we will then see who Yahawah is dealing with, right? When those times come. Psalms. I did have Psalms 41. Psalms 44 verse Psalms 44 chapter verse 21. Should not should not the Most High search this out, for he knows the secrets of the heart. So right, so the Most High Yahweh Shah know the secrets of the heart, right? So he know how you're feeling. 22 verse, yeah, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. So we are killed when we are in this truth. Um, where we are in the church, we are going through heavy trials and tribulation every single day and night. We are going through heavy tribulations, and you have to pray, right? You have to pray when you're going through those types of types of things, right? Um, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter, right? So we are you know we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. We are we are in the church. We are you know we have all eyes on us, right? We are we are we we there's a lot of things that can happen to us in the church, but we hope and pray and know that the Yahweh Shai is always looking out for us, right? 2 Timothy 2:19. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure, having this seal. The Lord knows them that are His, so the Lord knows them that are His, those that are the elect, right? And let everyone that names it the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity, right? So you that are calling on the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua by Shem QADASH, and you know the name of the Son, the Heavenly Father, you have to depart from iniquity. You have to depart from the mindset of suck it up and make it right. And the reason I'm using that title and saying that title throughout this video because a lot of Israelites have that mindset of that they think that they can just endure their affliction, and just endure, not pray or not fast, and think they can make it, which is not the point, right? And not is not that's you will you can't have that mindset and expect to make it, right? And I'm going to end it here with Revelation 3, chapter 3, verse 15. It's like, Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. So then, I'm going to so this is a message on Laodicea. So I'm going to start from the 15th verse. I know thy words, that they are neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Right? So, Yahawashai know that that you have one foot in the truth and you have one foot in the world, right? 16 verse. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So Yahawashai will, he will spew thee out of my. He will take you away from this truth. He will take his Holy Spirit away from you. He will take your name, and his son name away from you, right? So he will speak. So that means that you were not chosen, right? Ultimately, you're not chosen. You was a part. You was the one that were calling, but wasn't chosen, right? You were calling, but you wasn't chosen. So you cannot have that spirit of you cannot have that spirit of you're gonna suck it up and make it, right. All right. I think I'm gonna end it right here. I'm gonna give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Until next time, I'm gonna say Shalom.